Hey YouTube, welcome to Sunkerns Lab. For those of you who don't know, there was a huge Pokemon release, a press release rather, last night in regards to a new Pokemon game coming out this year. And I'm actually going to discuss this at length in this video. However, in the background, you're just going to be watching a random battle that I played. It was me and my girlfriend just played some random battles and sort of just, fucked around, and this is the result of that. But moving into the more important topics of this video, there are going to be Generation 6 games coming out. So no remakes of Ruby Sapphire this generation, no remakes whatsoever this generation, actually. And as much as I am disappointed I'm not going to be able to see a Ruby Sapphire remake, I'm much more excited to see Generation 6 games coming out. Just because, there's going to be new Pokemon, new moves, new areas to explore. I mean, this is going to be great. I mean, I'm excited already, and it's still 10 months out. I forgot to mention that. It is going to be released in October 2013, and another important factor in that is that all of the games will be released together. They will not be released based on region. They will be released all at once in all the different languages necessary to have a release. So, that's good. That's great for people who are in Europe, people who live in America, as I do, because usually games are released in Japanese, months before they're released in other languages. So, it gets kind of difficult to get your hands on those games if you're not from Japan. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy about that, and I'm glad that Nintendo decided to take that step forward, because it's just going to make things easier and better for the games in general, in my opinion. But getting into the actual games themselves, there are obviously going to be two standalone main games in Generation 6, and they are going to be called Pokemon X and Pokemon Y. Now, I'm not quite clear on whether or not Pokemon X and Pokemon Y are just sort of, names that they're using for now, so they don't give away the whole name, or if they're actually going to be called X and Y. I'm kind of leaning in the direction of them being called X and Y just because of certain factors that I'll get into later. But anyway, for now, what we know of them to be is Pokemon X and Pokemon Y. And some of the information we have is that there's going to be 3 starters, obviously, and there will be one legendary for each title, which is once again a pretty obvious fact. It's been a standing fact for the last 6 generations. So we have 3 starters and 2 legendaries that we have pictures and footage of. So first of all, there's going to be a grass type, which is, I know this stuff is pretty obvious, but there's going to be a grass type, a fire type, and a water type for the starters. We don't know what their secondary typing is going to be. We only know their first stage of evolution. So the grass type's first stage of evolution is called Chespin, and I will link a video in the description and I'll discuss that later on, but I'm going to link a video so you can take a look at all these things for yourself, because obviously I have a video playing in the background, not footage of these specific Pokemon. So, anyway, the grass type's name is Chespin, as I have said like 4 times already. It's sort of just a chipmunk-looking grass type. There's not really much to say about these. Like I said, it's only the first evolution stage, so you can't really judge so much on them. I like Chespin, I like the way it looks, and it's kind of cute. And then there's the fire type, of course. I know I'm repeating myself. Obviously, there's a fire type and a water type, blah blah blah. But the fire type is named Fennekin, and it's kind of a fox-looking guy. I kind of like it. It's kind of cute, and it's kind of odd-looking. But then again, it's very much reminiscent of the Ninetales evolution line, and I really didn't like the way the Ninetales evolution line came out. So I'm not really sure if I'm going to like Fennekin and its evolution line, but we'll see. I mean, obviously the games are not out yet, and so I can't really judge what is really going to be going on, but, I just don't really see liking Fennekin that much. And then there's a water type, of course, and his name is Froakie. He, as you can probably tell by the name, his name is Froakie, frog, and croak combined. Froakie is just a little blue frog, and he's really cute, he's really cool looking. He's got some really big eyes, he kind of looks like Frogger, except blue. And that's all the information that we really have on these starters. But so far, I kind of like how Chespin looks. It's sort of an interesting looking guy, and Froakie as well is a relatively interesting looking Pokemon. Fennekin, interesting, but not really original on its own. It, like I said, it reminds me very much of the Ninetales evolution line. Oh, excuse me. Then, obviously, we have the 2 legendaries, which is a huge thing. People get really excited over legendaries. I don't usually get excited over legendaries. I get more excited for starters and starting Pokemon. I like the beginning of the game a lot in every Pokemon game, but legendaries are a very important part of the franchise, and of course we have 2 legendaries for 1 legendary for each title, so 2 legendaries in total. And the first one is a sort of Sawsbuck looking legendary. I'm not really sure what you would consider it, because it's kind of on its own. It's got some really thin legs, some huge antlers. It's very elegant looking. It's quite pretty actually, and it has, you know, a lot of rainbow colors in it, and it's sort of an interesting and original looking Pokemon. Even though it sort of has a reminiscent look to Sawsbuck, it still has its own original look to it. And I don't want to say as if like I know exactly what it's going to look like, because it could very well look completely different than the photos that we have. But you know, it looks very interesting, and I'm excited to see that. It looks sort of along the lines of the legendaries of Black and White, the Terrakion, Cobalion, and Virizion, the very goat-like looking legendaries that we had, but it looks much more elegant. Anyway, done with Legendary X. Legendary Y is a flying. The picture we have anyway is it's flying in the sky. It's red. But I really don't think that's a fire type. I feel like I should just edit that whole thing out. You know, I'm not gonna edit it out. I don't feel like redoing the video. Let me just restart that whole section. Legendary Y is a sort of Y-shaped red type Pokemon that's flying through the sky. And although it's red, and you might think, and I originally thought, it might be a fire type, I really don't think that it's a fire type. It just doesn't seem fire type-ish, and I don't think they would have another fire type legendary. I feel like they've had too many already. And this video's over. I apologize for having you watch an empty screen for the next minute or so, but probably more than that because I ramble a lot. But I really don't think Legendary Y is going to be a fire type. It's got a very interesting look to it. It's got a very Terrakion looking face with the sort of antlers that come out of its head. You know, there's nothing else really to say about it. You can go check out the pictures in the video. I'll link you, of course. And of course, with a new game coming out is a totally new system of gameplay, and everything, as far as we can tell in this game, is going to be 3D. So, I mean, it's going to be completely insane in terms of graphics compared to the games of the past. I'm hoping, anyway. I'm really hoping they pull out all stops with this game and just go all out. That would be great. And then, you know, of course, we're going to have the new Pokemon, we're going to have the new moves that will be introduced, and probably new abilities as well. Obviously, we don't know anything about those yet. However, you know, it's bound to happen with a new game. Anyway, I'm going to try to wrap up here because I've been kind of off topic for a little while now. Not off topic, but I've just been rambling a little bit more than I wanted to. Like I said, I'm going to link a video in the description, and I'll actually have a quick discussion about that now. That's Emperor NBZ's video. He goes into complete depth on all this stuff, much, much more, and much better than I have done. If you want to know about this stuff, you need to check that video out. Watching this video is not enough, because I don't get into depth. You don't get to see the pictures or even the names of the other language names of the Pokemon and stuff. I mean, there's a lot of different information that's in NBZ's video that I simply have not included, and I will not include. You know, if you want to know this stuff, you need to check his video out. And of course, you know, on that note, I just had a Shuckle sweep in a random battle, so of course NBZ should be included in this battle just for the simple fact that Shuckle swept with acupressure. So, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope it was somewhat informative. And like I said, if you want more information, check out NBZ's video. You'll find a lot more information there. And once again, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. And if you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more of my videos in the future. See you next time.